Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channel and the World Class Championship Wrestling Review Series. We moved through the month of April quite quickly here, and we are into the 21st of April, 1984 here, and the entire run starting in 1982 is here as well. All in, most of it's in the playlist, at least I hope so. But debuts again this week. Three of them, actually, in a four-match show. The first match is the Super Destroyer against Lanny Poffo. Yes, that Lanny Poffo, otherwise a.k.a. known as the Genius or the brother of the Macho Man Randy Savage. He's not here very long. I think he's just passing through. This may be one of the few times we see him. Poffo, one of my kind of guilty pleasure favorites. I've always been a fan of Lanny Poffos. I think as I go through the kayfabe era and as we do the Memphis series that will come, and if I can find some ICW stuff, I wouldn't mind doing that episodically if it exists. I don't know if it does. But anyway, I think it's going to be fun to run through his stuff. He's such an athletic guy for the early 80s, and, simple stuff, but again, hip tosses, drop kicks, and the like, but there's speed to it, and then also doing the backflips and what ends up being an early version of a moonsault and all that in 1984. Really groundbreaking stuff from Poffo. Put in there with a Super Destroyer, so not exactly put in there as an enhancement talent, but certainly, we do see some innovative, even submission moves from him, including the fallback Indian Deathlock Hammerlock combination type stuff. Obviously, he's outsized by the Super Destroyer, but does take the majority of the match. How to fire up and be a babyface in a new territory. This match is a good explanation of that, as Poffo really takes a good bit of the match, if not most of the match, at least the first 3 or 4 minutes of it anyway, and slows things down with an armbar, but the Destroyer does eventually make a comeback, gets a suplex, among other things, on Poffo. Poffo does come out the back door on the suplex and never really quits. I mean, he doesn't look super strong, and there is a period of the match that's a little bit slower with the much larger Destroyer using bear hugs to get his advantage. Akbar looks on from ringside, not very impressed with the second generation superstar, and the Destroyer eventually does gain his victory. Gains the victory through the superplex from the second rope on the inside, and the Destroyer does what he needs to do. Then we move to another debut, AWA mainstay, not a favorite guy of mine for personal reasons, Buck Zumhoff. Look up his history if you want to know the personal reasons I don't care for the guy. But anyway, he is on fire here, going right at Buddy Roberts of the Freebirds. He's definitely a guy who does incite a response from the crowd, and they must have been planning to do something big with him, because he goes nuts on Roberts really, really quickly, and gains a super fast victory within probably about 3 minutes or so, maybe a little less. But anyway, he hits I guess inside splash from the second rope on Roberts and gains the victory, almost Ultimate Warrior style, with that speed and hyperactivity. The missing link in Jerry Gray. Golden Boy Jerry Gray. I haven't heard a recent update on him, but a journeyman wrestler who ran shows all around the Minnesota general area and the like, the Dakotas, I think, up through the last several years before getting cancer. I'll have to check on Jerry, but anyway, needless to say, the missing link tosses him around quite a bit, and it's clear that the link is expecting to do quite well in this matchup. Tosses Gray to the outside. Obviously, the fall forward slam from the link is part of his arsenal, and he uses it here. One thing I like about Gray is that he sells and makes his opponents look like $1 million. Kamala also involved in this process. Of course, the missing link on the outside, and when I say involved in the process, involved in the mindset of Skandar Akbar, but the link does gain a victory. Not maybe as decisively as some would think for the new guy coming in, but a headbutt to the midsection / rib cage is mainly what's needed for the link to gain his victory. Then he goes to the outside, goes to the top rope, and hits that headbutt again. I do like his diving style to the headbutt, kind of a different take on it, almost like a falling dive. Then we see the return of one of the major feuds in the area as gorgeous Jimmy Garvin and Chris Adams go at it again. Obviously, Fresh is out there for Garvin, and they're given a good bit of time, probably the longest of the matches in a while. They do a large walkout, and the ladies, Precious and Sunshine, wanting to go at each other, convincing them that this is not acceptable, even though they are going to do so in a couple of weeks at Texas Stadium. Just a couple of weeks away, about 2 weeks away here. Adams and Garvin, as we are well aware, have a feud that's probably gone close to a year now, maybe. And that'll be settled up in a mixed tag team match, probably the first one, if not, well, no, I think Memphis probably did one first, but certainly one of the first ones for Texas, I would think, here in the Texas Stadium show. Basic match, but moving at a good clip. Garvin and Adams are very regular foes now. Garvin, bails to the outside after falling victim to the head scissors, arm bars, arm locks, and they want a timeout. Obviously, there are no timeouts in wrestling. Garvin comes back in, hooks on a hammerlock, and tries to neutralize Adams. Doesn't get the job done. Slammed out of the headlock is Garvin, and like I said, they go probably close to 15 plus minutes here. A lot of back and forth. They'll get 2, 3, 4 minutes out of a headlock. They'll get, 2 minutes out of a hammerlock. But I think there's an art form to that, and people say that wouldn't fly today. And I look at it and I go, look at MMA. There are holds in MMA. The difference is people believe they're real, and everybody thinks you can't convince people that wrestling holds are real, and I completely disagree. Anyway, we move forward, and Adams back to the head scissors, chin lock by Garvin, slows things down again. This is how you get 20 minutes out of a match. Not have to do much, not give it away, but also if you have enough of an issue, the crowd on their feet. Amazing to me that both Garvin and Adams both will use what looks to be almost like a version of the inverted chin lock type situation, and then Precious and Sunshine do end up going at it at the end of this match. Like I said, mere weeks away from their squaring off at Texas Stadium, and that will close us for the 21st of April, 1984. We'll be back with more, but stay right with us as we continue to journey through World Class. And like I said, we've got the entire run from 82 up to now. Keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Till next time, everybody.